everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have Giacomo with me today and we're going to be making a modified recipe from our Vegan Proteins holiday cookbook today.
It's going to be delicious.
So this is a recipe that I make some version of every single year for Thanksgiving. It is an apple sage sausage stuffing. So this year it's just going to be Giacomo and I for Thanksgiving. And this is going to be like a medium macro-friendly version of this. Not the full-out decadent one, not the super macro-friendly one that is in the cookbook, but one in between.
Yeah, and I feel like every Thanksgiving you need stuffing no matter how many or how few people are there at the table.
And I'm pretty sure in the 12 and a half years Giacomo and I have been together, I don't think you've ever made stuffing.
No, I've eaten a lot of stuffing, but I have not actually made it yet, so this will be new one on me.
All right, so here we go. Here's what you need. You're gonna need a whole loaf of bread. This isn't stuffing bread, this is just an oatmeal bread. In the cookbook, it is a high protein bread, which really boosts the protein content of this recipe. A package of field roast apple sage sausages. Again, in the cookbook, there's a recipe to make these yourself, and there's a video on this channel on how to make these yourself too, but we're using these ones today. 4 ribs of celery, a 1/4 cup of chopped parsley, 2 Granny Smith apples, 1 medium or 2 small onions, 1/4 cup of pecans or walnuts, vegetable broth, and I'm going to use poultry seasoning today, but you could use thyme, sage, black pepper, whatever you want to create that poultry seasoning flavor. So the first thing you have to do is chop everything into cubes, small uniform sized cubes. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ready? All right, everything is cut into small cubes. Now we are going to take this without the dog hair. And we are gonna just toast these in a 250-degree oven for about 10 minutes or so, just until they start to crisp up. Then they're gonna suck up the juices from the stuffing much better. So we're gonna pop these in the oven, and then we're gonna turn this whole setup around so you can see what we're doing on the stove. Okay. So while the toast is toasting, and the bread is toasting, we are going to toast the pecans. I'm using pecans today because I recently found out that I've developed like a mild allergy to walnuts. So I always use walnuts in this, but this year pecans. So on a dry pan, I'm using a cast iron skillet here. I'm going to put the pecans just over medium heat, and I'm going to stir them frequently. You just want to stir them until they start to smell good. Not burnt, good. Toasty, and then you take them off the heat quickly. Okay, so that was literally like 2 to 3 minutes and they smell toasty. And I'm gonna take them off the heat and I'm gonna set them aside.
All right, I'm going to start browning some sausage over here. I have my pan on medium heat, and we're going to toss all this in and stir it around until it's lightly to medium browned. You
want it to start to crisp up, and we might not have needed to use our giant wok for this year, but just in case, better to have too much space in the pot than not enough.
I'm being extra careful to not spill any of this because any of this gets on the floor, it's as good as gone.
Every cooking video we've ever made, guys.
Joey's loving our YouTube channel because it means he gets all the treats. Alright, things are looking pretty crisped up. Now we're going to dump this into a large bowl.
Okay, so using the same large pan over medium heat, I'm not gonna like clean it out. I want whatever juices are there to be there. There's not much, that doesn't leave much oil. I'm going to start to saute the onions, the celery, and the Granny Smith apple all at the same time. And we are going to saute all of this together until it becomes nice and soft and some of the pieces start to get a little translucent. He got one. He got one. He wins. See the celery bits on the floor, guys? Carnage. And it's been about 10 minutes. Let's take the bread, the toasty bread, out of the oven. I don't know where my other pot holder went. I got 2. I'm just gonna set them over here for now. And I'm also now gonna turn the oven up to 400 degrees because that's what we're gonna need it for the next step. There we go. Okay, so we've never done this before, but we were just talking while these are cooking. They're starting to get a little bit soft. I said, you know what would be really good in here? Some cranberries, and we do have some dried cranberries. So this is a new addition. You don't have to do this, but we're gonna try it. I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup to this. They're really dry, and I'm hoping putting them in here they'll plump up a little bit, and then even more so when we mix them with the broth. But I think that's gonna be a nice addition. Okay, so this is looking nice and soft and translucent in some places. I'm gonna add my spices. So this is a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, like 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm just gonna throw that right on top, and we're both gonna start sneezing now, for sure. We've been sneezing this whole time, actually, just because of that pepper.
Worth it.
Woo! It smells good, though. And then also, we have a scant 1/4 cup of fresh parsley, and I'm gonna mix that in too. And we're just gonna cook this for about 30 more seconds or so. I'm gonna toss these pecans that we toasted earlier in just to mix them throughout. And then we are gonna dump this whole mixture on top of the sausage in the bowl over here. Oh. All the bits, all the bits.
Every little piece.
All the bits. Okay, turn the heat off on this. And then I'm just gonna mix that all together so the sausage is incorporated here.
Joey, you want to make sure you're incorporated.
Joey is the sausage. Get it? Get it? That's very hot. Now we're going to be working with this mixture, adding our bread and using broth to kind of hold everything together. So let's go back to the table.
All right, we are going to start mixing the bread into the bowl over here.
Pull it towards here.
That's probably a good idea.
We cook like this here.
Yeah, a little bit at a time. And then we're going to start throwing a little bit of broth in, right? Until we get the right kind.
Mix it like you're not afraid of it.
But it's hot.
Mix it. No, with the spoon.
Oh, okay.
We have to use our hands eventually. Don't do it too soon.
But
You will burn yourself.
It's just us. Nobody needs to know.
Oh, Joey just with the camera. I will add some broth for you.
Yep.
Keep mixing. Mix like you're not afraid of it. Come on, you're strong, aren't you?
All right.
Mix it up. There we go. Everybody has a different preference to how they like their stuffing. Some people like it really wet. Some people like it really dry. I think I like mine on the wetter side. That's what she said.
Yeah, you know I was thinking it. I don't mind me. You just lied to me.
So you might even need more broth than this, or you might not need all of this broth. But once we have the majority of this added, it's going to get harder and harder to stir in, and you are actually going to have to get in there and mix it up with your clean hands.
Yeah.
Are your hands clean?
I think so. Nothing says Thanksgiving like stuffing.
Okay, so we still have to add all of this, and we'll show you the texture when it's done. You're mixing this thing like you want to marry it.
That's how Italian chef works it.
Aren't the Italian grannies the one that like
Beat on things?
eat their bread dough with a rolling pin, stereotypically? Come on, mix it.
Keep it coming.
Squish it through your fingers. Thank you. That's what I want to see.
I'm going to tell my grandmother you said that.
She'll probably agree with me. That is the way. I like my stuffing to look. So I love it. Okay, the rest of this recipe is super easy. We're gonna put this in a 13 by 9 inch pan. Go ahead, you can just dump it in. Or you can put it in by the fistful. However you want, baby.
This is getting messy. Here we go.
And we're gonna cover it with foil. So my tip to you is spritz the foil, the side that's gonna be touching the stuffing. Spritz that with the cooking spray because you definitely don't want your stuffing to stick to the foil and be trying to like pick out bits of foil on your Thanksgiving stuffing.
Yeah, we've had.
All right, we're gonna make it so thank you for this giant lump in the middle.
You're welcome.
That's perfect. That ensures even cooking time when there's a big lump in the middle.
Ta-da!
So it looks like this. Why does stuffing have to look so gross and taste so delicious? Beautiful. Do you guys call it stuffing or dressing?
I would call it dressing.
That's
like calling Italian sauce gravy. Like, that's sacrilegious. You don't do that. It's just some things you don't do.
Okay, so 400-degree oven for 40 minutes. Then we're gonna uncover it and cook it for another 20 minutes. And then you'll have your stuffing. All right, so this just came out of the oven. And in any other video, we'd like dig a serving out and eat it. But this is like legitimately our Thanksgiving meal. I feel like we can't cut into it till Thursday.
I don't know, is this one of those times where impatience is rewarded, Danny?
No, stuffing keeps well for quite a while. In fact, I think stuffing gets better as it sits in the fridge, which is why we made this video today. But I think we can try a little tiny piece out of the side.
Okay.
Just, you know, try to make it look like we didn't do that.
Right, yeah, no one will know.
You know, for all the company we're having.
Yes, yes, of course.
Ooh, I got a cranberry. I can see it.
That's a nice prize piece right there.
It's still steamy. It's gonna burn.
That's okay.
Go ahead, burn your mouth.
No, not burn at all.
Pecans. Cranberries. Good choice.
That is really good, yeah. I think the cranberries made it. No. It's Thanksgiving, come on.
It's like all caramelized on the top.
Yeah.
That final 20 minutes without the foil really makes it.
If you're gonna...
Oh, wait, no, can't get the crusty bit. I just want that piece.
Take it from your side. There we go. Yep.
There's tons of room to play with this recipe and like make it your own. And if you want to make a really macro-friendly version of it, check out VeganProteins Holiday Cookbook. We have 26 recipes in there made. They're like Thanksgiving and Christmas classics, but made with a healthier, macro-friendly twist. That said, if you don't want to count your macros on Thanksgiving, I won't be making anybody do that. That's for darn sure. So, we hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving this year. One of my clients told me this quote they heard and I really, really liked it. It was, "This is not the year to get what you want. It is the year to be thankful for what you have." So that's what we'll be doing on Thursday. And we hope you guys do too.
See ya.
Bye. Wait, ready? How do we say this? We can do a funny thing where we go, and then everything's chopped. You want to try it?
Hey.
We'll try it. I don't know if it'll work. Hit the table. This is why we're not on TikTok. This is all TikTok is. It's just this shit over and over.
Over and over.